This video is about introductions, which starts on page 15 in your book. There's 5 parts to the introduction. Greeting, hook, icebreaker, or attention getter. We use all of these words pretty interchangeably. Topic, the reason or purpose, and then the overview guide. This video is going to focus on the greeting and hook. Let's look at the picture below. Now this is the same person, but we probably feel like we trust one picture more than we do the other. And this is first impressions. First impressions are extremely important in presentations. The audience is deciding if they want to listen to you or not, even before you start, just by the way you dress or the way you walk up to the front of the classroom. We're deciding if this is going to be a good presentation or maybe not such a great presentation. Now, the first step in an introduction is your greeting. Basically, what the greeting is you say hello to the audience, you say your name, and then you give your credentials. Now, we know what saying hello and your name is, but credentials, that might be a little more difficult. Basically, credentials are why you have knowledge about a topic. Is it some type of special interest you have? Did you used to study it? Is it something that you have seen or experienced in your life? Something special that gives you some type of knowledge about this topic that other people might not have? So after your greeting, the second step is your hook. There's 5 different examples of a hook. A popular misconception, an interesting fact or statistic, a quote, an anecdote, which is like a short story, and a rhetorical question. Rhetorical question means you don't need an answer. It's just a question you ask to the audience. So let's go ahead and let's look through each of these individually. The first type of hook is a popular misconception. This is something that the audience believes to be true, but might not be true. We remember the things that we think are true, and then someone says that it's not true. It might make us a little angry, or we feel uneducated about the topic, but the one thing it does do is keep us interested. And that's the purpose of the hook, to interest your audience. So, for example, this is a true story about me. Now, the bottom here it says, there is no Santa Claus. Well, when I was 6 years old, my brother told me that there was no Santa Claus. My brother is 11 years older and a little mean, but I actually remember that. I don't remember a lot from when I was 6, but I do remember my brother telling me this. Why? Because I truly believe there was a Santa Claus. So when my brother told me there was no Santa Claus, well, it really upset me. So I had to go ask my dad to see if there was a Santa Claus. And of course my dad said there was, and my brother was just being mean to me. The second type of hook is an interesting fact or statistic. We want something interesting, something shocking, something that's almost unbelievable. When someone says something to you that is like a huge number, something you can't believe, you get interested. You want to know more about the topic. Let's look at the example I have. If I say to you that 36.7 million people are living with HIV/AIDS, that's a lot of people. But if I go on and say that 37 million is about 70% of the population of Korea. Now, what I did here is I try to make it more relatable. Try to put the number in a way that makes it easy for the audience to understand how big this number really is. I do this because I want to make the biggest impact that I possibly can. The third type of hook is a quote. Now, a quote is usually from someone famous, but not always. But usually we want to hear what famous people say. So if we're talking something about business, something that Warren Buffett might have said. If we're talking about something with computers, maybe Bill Gates, something like that. However, it doesn't always have to be someone famous. But one important thing about a quote, it has to be about the topic you're talking about, and it has to get the audience thinking about what you are going to say. The fourth type of hook is an anecdote or a short story. Now, this is a personal story or a story about someone famous. It doesn't have to be anyone famous. Personal stories are great. We like to hear about why you're interested in this topic, right? If you're talking about maybe bike safety and you talk about something that happened in your life when you were young and you got into an accident on a bike, and luckily you were wearing a helmet and that saved your life. If you were to tell some type of story about that, that would get the audience much more interested in your topic. The last type of hook is a rhetorical question. Now, rhetorical questions are questions that are thought-provoking, but you don't want the audience to answer. Sometimes people come up and they give a presentation and they might ask a question like, do you like summer? And then the audience doesn't know, should I answer that question, not answer? It makes it really kind of awkward. Plus, it's not really thought-provoking. You either think, yeah, I like it, or no, I don't like it very much. What you want to do is make sure if you ask a question that is thought-provoking and something that is about your topic. So for example, maybe you can say, have you ever wondered where you can have an awesome date in the middle of the hot summer? Well, now this starts to get me thinking a little more. I know he's going to talk about some place where maybe it's a little cool, some place where you can take your date in the summer, something like that. Now I'm starting to think a lot more about the actual topic they're talking about than just, do you like summer? So no matter what type of hook you use, there's a couple of things to remember. Just always remember that it has to be about your topic and something interesting to get the attention of your audience. So when you make your hook, think, if I was to hear this in a presentation, would I be interested to listen to more?